Hello, this is Dr. Chad Hawk with Dr. Steve Hoffman, and we're here bringing you your Mastery Minutes today. This week, we're going to be talking to you about something that Dr. Hoffman pioneered many years ago, and it's so great. It's called your health tips. Steve, when did you first come up with the idea of health tips?
Well, Chad, it's really a long story, so I'll give you the short version. I used to do a once a month newsletter that was sometimes 4, sometimes 8, sometimes 12 pages long that I'm sure no one ever read. you know, um, I like giving a lot of information, and I'm sure it wasn't utilized. And one day a patient said, Dr. Steve, if you could just give us a little more often, I'd actually read it, and I think it would be valuable. So simple, it became a weekly, one-page, quick read health tip that I sent out to my patients. Now, way back when, it was sent out via fax. Fax cost nothing. I made my one page, I printed it, I put it in the fax. I had all my patients' numbers and local business numbers in it, and I said it at the end of the day, and it must have faxed all night long to get to these hundreds and hundreds of people, but it cost nothing. Today, the modern version of that is email. And so it became a task I did every day. And ultimately, my brain said, if this is good for you, would it be good for others? And the answer was, duh. And so I made my weekly health tip available to other docs to utilize in their practice. The one thing that they wanted was to be able to personalize it with their office name, no problem. Even back in the early days with fax, we'd fax it out for them because, again, cost me nothing. Today, I think the doctor needs to have a little bit of skin in the game. So, where it came from and where it is we'll do all the work for you, but you send it out. You send it out to your people. So that's the thumbnail history of it.
Yeah, you send it out, you throw on your logo, your contact information, and we give it to you in 4 different formats. So you can use one of the formats for sure.
Sure.
Now, we also include one of the things other than email that's available to us today is social media.
Yep.
You can tweet these things out, you can Facebook them out, you can send them out any way you want, and we give it to you in a format that's easy to do that with.
Yep.
In fact, I just heard from a doctor that started using these just I think a month and a half ago, who has already, because he's so savvy with the social media, and it's not that he's special, he just is diligent. He had 13 new patients from last month's health tip.
Nice. Nice.
Now, was that
That
worth
pays for them
150?
forever.
Yeah, was that worth $150 a year for the health tips? I think absolutely.
Listen, I've often contended, Chad, that just to write one, based on what a doctor earns per hour or should be earning per hour, to write one would cost them what we charge for an entire year of the
Oh,
service.
oh, more than that, more than that.
Yeah.
The amount of time that we have put into these is really significant. Each week's issue takes a long time. You have to take various sources, distill them down, craft the content, and make it in a way that the layperson can not only learn and understand, but then utilize.
Yep. It's a bite-sized chew, which I like, they like, especially given the attention span of people these days.
Yeah,
Smaller and
that
smaller.
may have
And
been a little generous.
yeah, okay. And, something I talked about on Chiropractic Mastery way back when we first launched the page was, nothing stops you from taking the health tip, and there are 3 different articles in the health tip, taking any one of them and doing a video, posting it on your webpage, posting it on Facebook, sending it out to your peeps. And we give you 3 people that literally they would get 1 minute or a minute and a half video from you that they could then send out to their people as well. It's brilliant.
It's absolutely brilliant. Sorry about the video problem we had just a second there.
No problem.
But it's all resolved.
I was hoping it wasn't me.
I don't know what it was. It was the wonder of the difference. You know, it's getting over the Rocky Mountains from Colorado to San Diego. That's the problem there. Well, if somebody would like to subscribe to Health Tips, and honestly, I don't see any reason why any chiropractor wouldn't want this. It has nothing to do with politics and everything to do about supporting your practice members. Steve, how can they go about getting this?
Well, actually, before I tell them that, I want to tell them a couple of things, if that's okay. So before we get a bunch of questions, what it is a 1-page weekly health tip that has 3 different, very short, very concise articles in it that the doctor can personalize to send out to their people. So that's what it is. The reason that they would use it is to build a relationship with their database, whether the patients are active or not, whether they're even patients or not. How many times does a doc go out and do a screening or a talk and they get some new patients, but then they scrape that cream off the top and get rid of the rest of the milk? What if they actually stayed in touch with all the people who gave them an email address? Well, this is a great way of doing that. So it's an extraordinary internal and external marketing tool. So that's what it is, and that's why it's important. How the doc would use it, we've talked about today. It could go out weekly, it could go out 3 times a week, it could go out in print, it could go out in video, it could go. That's up to the doc. And Chad, the bottom line is, as the client you mentioned, the docs who use it love it. They absolutely love it. And we're sure that all of you would love it too. So, best way to do this? Email either Dr. Chad or myself, Dr. Steve at drstevehoffman.com or Chad at drchadhawk.com, and just put in the subject of the email, health tips, and we'll take it from there.
Absolutely. And it's so cost effective. It's only $150 a year. You cannot beat the quality of information for that price. All right. Thank you, everybody, so much. We love you and appreciate you.
And I love and appreciate you. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.